Hi, everyone. Today is Wednesday, March 11th, 2026, and this is the International Outreach Think Tank meeting. And I'm going to hand it over to Richard Ernst to read our Bivens. Give me a second and I'll pull that up. All right. Can you see that, Richard?
Yep.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. Bivens Declaration. Bivens versus 6 unknown agents, 403 U.S. 388 from 1971. This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner. To eliminate all conflict and false allegations, is there anyone in attendance in today's meeting that is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency of the federal, state, city, county, or township agencies present? Is there any response to the Bivens decision for the first time? Is there a response for the second time? Is there a response for the third and final time? Anyone who is here under false pretenses, anyone who is working for any foreign government, including the territorial United States or municipal United States, anyone who is being paid or coerced to be here must fully disclose their presence and purpose now or leave the premises or this conference call. If they subsequently show up as a federal witness, they are discredited for failure to disclose. Are you now or have you ever received money or personal support of any kind from the intelligence community? Upon no response to this notice of the Bivens decision, this meeting shall now proceed.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, and I am going to start us off with a prayer. So if you guys wouldn't mind just pausing for a second here. Divine Creator, source of all that is, we call upon your infinite love and wisdom to surround us this evening. We step into this meeting with unwavering faith, knowing that we are divinely protected, guided, and blessed beyond measure. We surrender our fears, our doubts, and our worries. We release all that no longer serves us. We let go of resistance, and in its place, we welcome the radiant light of divine favor. We are covered by an impenetrable shield of divine protection. No negativity, no fear, and no limitation can touch us. We are surrounded by light. We are guarded by love. We walk in divine safety wherever we go. Tonight we declare that blessings are flowing into our lives and our assemblies effortlessly. Every door that was once closed is now opening. Every obstacle is now dissolving. Every delay is transforming into divine timing. Breakthroughs are happening right now. We are stepping into reality where abundance, joy, success are our birthright. The universe is aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities in our favor. Divine Source, fill us with your wisdom and let our thoughts be inspired, our words uplifting, and let our actions create ripples of kindness and love in the world. We declare that this meeting be filled with grace, miracles, and unexpected blessings. So think it, so feel it, so speak it, so be it. It is done, it is done, it is done. All right. Oh, we got more people coming in. All right. I just want to go over some old business. So I know Richard mentioned that he was going to get his Illinois Assembly to do an updated interview. If anybody else, on your assembly, I know maybe even Louisiana, I'd love to, do a welcome back for Louisiana too, because you guys are now seated and, fully standing. So congratulations. I was saying that to Chad before, but I know I see Jamie, you're on here now. So a great big congrats to you guys. All your hard work is paying off. So keep going, keep at it. And, everybody's cheering you on.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And now I've got, just an update with the postcards, because as I said to you guys before, we were using the free mail. Some of them are getting delivered and some of them are getting returned. So it's interesting to see, but 1,000 of them went out. I did want to remind everybody, if you're on the Telegram page, the Telegram page was created specifically for outreach purposes. For whatever reason, I still get a lot of people on there wanting to share stuff like about Global Family Bank, or if they're, having a relief with, something that they're fighting or something. That's all great information, but I didn't want the Telegram page, we didn't want the Telegram page to be something that we were going to share that kind of information and bog it down with that kind of stuff. So, I just, as a reminder, just, try to keep those posts to just, people sharing your outreach. If it's a podcast, if it's an education piece, these kinds of things, not information that we can get from other sources. Does that make sense to you guys?
Makes sense to me.
Thanks, Adam. Yeah, so if you're putting other stuff up there, I'm not trying to be rude, but I will delete it. Like I think I've made it pretty clear that it's just there for outreach purposes. And so if you put something up and you notice it's been deleted, that's the reason why. All right. All right, new business. I'm going to hand the floor over to Vicki. Vicki was very gracious enough to actually start a different ice drive account for us because Bart Drager, who initially created that, he hasn't had the time to actually manage it. And what happened was it had overflowed with too much data, and we had to upgrade it if we wanted to keep building and adding things. So what we did was we divided and have just general outreach and education for one ice drive, and then Louise has created another one for all the American Government Resurgence project stuff. And so, Vicki, I'm going to hand it over to you. I do have, just in case, I don't know if you want to share the flyer, but I have it on my end just to let you know, and I yield.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I'll share it from this end. So it was attached to the invitation that Tammy sent you. So everyone does have that flyer. And I'm going to share my screen and just go to that now. Can everyone see that? Yes, okay. So this is the flyer that was attached to the email that Tammy sent. And let's see, do you see a little cursor floating around there? Good, because I never know if people actually see it. So this is the link to click on the Outreach Ice Drive, and this is the link to click on the Education Ice Drive. And once you get into the Ice Drive, if you click one time, it'll give you download options, and then you want to download it so that you can edit it for your assembly. I do use canva.com, so I have a link here for canva.com, so you can easily go there and download the free version, or whatever program you use for that. If you want to open it to view it and be able to follow the links that way, you just click 2 times on it to open and view it. And also on this is sorry, my cursor stuff. This is the email that we created just for this think tank ice drive. So if you on your assembly have created any kind of presentation or outreach that you want to share with everyone, you can email it to this email address, and then we will get it put on these ice drive accounts. And then this is Tammy's email for this meeting. And Tammy was just talking about Telegram. So this is a link to get on the Outreach Telegram channel. And then this is a link to get on the podcast that Tammy does the interviews with. Okay. And then at the bottom is a link to the American Government's Resurgence Project, and that will take you into Louise's ice drive. And then she's going to explain all that. And Louise, if you want me to take that off of this, just let me know. We weren't quite sure how you wanted to handle that. So I'm just going to click on this outreach link, and it'll take you right to look like this. So this is the iStrive account. And I did make a couple folders just to make it easier for you. So if you double click on the folders, they'll open. And these are just different things that people have made using the American peace flag. This is one brochure that we on Pennsylvania use a lot because you print it double-sided and then you cut it in half lengthwise. So what you can do with all of this is take the Pennsylvania Assembly information and just, put your assembly logo on and your assembly QR code. And it would be a very simple project for you to go ahead and do that on all these. So let's see, to get back, you just go back to where it says outreach. And then we have some one-page outreach flyers on here. And these, I would say, best thing for you to do is just go on this iStrive and read through these. This is one that's about all the corporations, and they're done in Bradstreet numbers, and there's links and QR codes. And then on the back side of it, it is about the American government and what we're doing about all this problem with the corporations.
Vicki, I'm so glad that you showed me that because I was looking for those Dun& Bradstreet numbers and I knew that I had saw them somewhere, and I couldn't remember where the heck I saw them. So thank you for reviewing that.
Sure.
When I'm done here, I'm gonna grab that for myself.
Yes. And so you can just go through these. These are all just really good. Like we often have people ask, well, what is the Pennsylvania Assembly? So we sat down and wrote up what I think is really good explanation of who we are and what we're doing, and then a little bit about how people can help. So we just have some kind of simple explanations of things, and then this one's a good one because just to help people that maybe you've talked to about this concept, but they don't quite get it and they want more information. This one I color coded for the 3 jurisdictions, and then it kind of helps them see, USA Inc. is C jurisdiction, and that's British, so, and I kind of kept that up through most of the document. And then this one also goes into the birth certificate fraud, and then the US citizenship, and then some of the history. And then, sorry, I'm probably making you guys dizzy, but at the end, then we have some links. And here again, you can keep the ones that work for you and then just substitute your assembly links for ours. Let me go back. And then we do have a couple trifold brochures in here. Everything that's in iStrive is in there. It automatically is alphabetical. So if you want something in the beginning of it, you have to number it. So here you can see I numbered the political status trifold and the correct your status, because those two kind of go together. So I did number them 1 and 2. And then here again, you can just click on these. And if you want to actually if you want to use them, you're going to have to download them, okay? And if you want to follow links on any of these, you have to download them also.
May I, Vicki?
Sure, go ahead.
I will just add because I will say that you've done such a great job with the brochures. I downloaded it, and because we also have a Canva account, all I had to do was upload it to my Canva, and then I was able to edit it. It makes it really easy to do that.
Yes, it does make it very easy. And I did find that sometimes it'll kind of scramble things a little bit, but on that program, it's easy just to click on things and straighten them back up and,
Yeah.
arrange it really well. So it does work well if you get a Canva account. And then you can just see, I'm not going to go through all these, but you can just see there's other trifold brochures that it would just be easy for you to take off our logo and the Pennsylvania Assembly and our photos of Pennsylvania and substitute your information.
Richard has a question.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, Return to Illinois. My question isn't so much about the ice drive or the information on there. It's more about Canva because you guys sound like a couple of very knowledgeable folks for Canva use. I'm fairly new to it. Um, is it possible, like if I make something on there and I'm making it for someone else on a different state, but I want it to be an editable version for them. How do I share that file or with them, or do they have to have a Canva account and then they could just upload it and it'll split it all back up for them? I yield. Thank you.
Well, I actually made all of these on Canva and I just download them then as a PDF. And then if you take one of these and hit the download button and then open it up on Canva. So if you did this and shared it with somebody, they could do the same thing. And you'll see it's going to pop on here. So this is what I got. So it did scramble things a little bit, but then these are very easy to edit just by moving things around and just fixing them, deleting what you don't need.
If I may, you said you have an actual Canva account, or is that through the free Canva account?
Um,
Because I've never tried to upload an image or anything and then manipulate the different elements of it. I've always just gone in there and created my own things. I didn't know if I could share it and someone else could upload it and edit it also.
Yes, they should be able to because I could totally edit this, like these are all linked together. So I would just unlink them and move things around and then fix it the way you want it. And then you would just do the share button up there in the top right and then download it as a PDF and share it. And they could open it and then fix it also. So that's actually exactly what we are doing is I'm creating it in Pennsylvania and I'm just sharing it with you through the ice drive. And you should be able to open these up and just edit them.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now I have to get back.
May I?
Mm-hmm.
So it might be something that we could add to our next meeting in April to maybe do a tutorial on Canva. Because I think like Richard, a lot of people are, kind of new to using it. And I know I found, I just played around with it and I'm sure I don't even know all the beautiful tools that they have that you can do because they've made things so simple. But I mean, there's so many things you can do on there. You could create your logos on there. You could create your stamps on there. You could create your brochures. I mean, anything, social media, if you want to put something on Facebook or Instagram or, wherever, you could create all that stuff on there. So, Vicki, I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in doing. Maybe our next meeting.
Yeah, maybe I have done that for our assembly, but I also found that if you just go to YouTube and then just type in even basic lessons on Canva, and you'll get a lot of YouTube videos of people explaining the very basics of Canva. And then as you start learning what it does, you can type in there, how do you make a video on Canva? And how do like you can create, say, a poster on Canva, and then you can just click one button and it'll change it to a Facebook post or an Instagram post. And so it'll like just change the format and still keep what you created the original way. So it's really pretty versatile, but there are also a lot of lessons that you can watch. And then also on Canva, they have videos on how to do things also. So, but it is something we can think about doing, like especially more specific to how we use it mostly. So.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did, Vicki, to make we do a monthly planner on our state where we added all the links to a calendar and it walked me through the whole process of how to create a calendar. It was really on YouTube. So it was great. And I
Yeah.
did it step by step because you could pause the video and go do the step and then go back to the video, play it, and then pause it and go back and do the step. So
Yeah.
it's great like that.
Yes, you shared that with us, and I actually did go back and create one. And I had a link for every single international call and call that we have in our assembly. I had the call link on all those. But when I download that as a PDF, it scrambles them. So I haven't quite figured that out. So I have to work on that a little bit, or go ask some questions, because you can also write on Canva, you can ask questions and it'll tell you how to fix things, or it'll pretty much solve them all for you. Okay, that's those three. Then I also wanted to show you on here, this is a flyer that we put out, and I put this on here because we use this flyer and we put them all over town when we're going to have a live event. And then this one here that says American History Event, this is the PDF that I actually hand out at the event. And I'm going to show, first I'll show you the flyer just so you see what it looks like. So it's a pretty basic, open public meeting, and then the location. And then the one that we pass out is, let's see here, this QR code is the QR code to the American history that was never taught in school, which is from claimyourinheritance.info. So we show that 29-minute video. And then what's in here, they can scan the QR code and they can look up these articles. And those are the articles that are related to that video. And then we also show these 3 short videos. And with the QR codes, they can also take this paper home and watch them again or share them with their friends and family. And then we also have these contact videos also. And then this one is that the outreach video that we created that's more generic. So this can be used in any state with that one. We actually did find at the last meeting that we had last month, we had 3 people show up just because they saw the flyer hanging up somewhere. One in a post office and a couple, they saw it in a feed mill. So, and they showed up. So that was awesome. This one here, we just created when Anna and Lisa were doing the 10th Amendment on America Some Assembly Required. I just had this vision that we need that in color, how there's 3 jurisdictions. So there were 3 treaties, so that created 3 contracts, and that created 3 constitutions. So I just followed it down in color so that everybody can kind of see. I call this why there are 3 constitutions. And then on these up here, let's see, where's my cursor? Up here, I should probably make this bigger. It said underline is a link. So if you see anything underlined on here, you can actually click on that underline and it'll take you to articles about what's underlined so that you get even a better understanding. So just going through this one flyer would give you a really great education on all of the constitutions and everything about them. And then, of course, right after I created, Anna wrote a great article. So I usually print that article out on the backside of it. And then this QR code. So I was thinking about this. If I'm handing this out as a flyer for people, they can't follow the link. So I created a QR code that links to this PDF so that then they can follow the links. So there you have it. Brilliant. So that's everything on the outreach. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, I did want to mention this one. We do not put any videos on here because that'll take up our free space and then we'll have to buy a version of iStrive, and we don't want to do that at this point. So whenever we want to share a video, you can just make a short PDF with a link to the video, and you can get a QR code if you want, or just put the link in there. So if you have a video that you like to share on your assembly and you want to share it and have us put it on iStrive, just make something like this and then we'll put it on iStrive and be able to share it. So are there any questions about any of the outreach part of iStrive? Okay, then I'm going to go back to, all right,
Louise has a question.
go ahead. I can't see any hands, so someone will have to just call on them. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just had a quick question, Vicki. How often do you guys have in-person public meetings?
We've just been doing one a month right now. Yeah, and Pennsylvania is a pretty big state, so we actually only have that one more on the eastern side, like about an hour out of Philadelphia.
Okay. Well, excellent work. I really like all your flyers. Yours is so lively.
Like cover. Yeah. So I'm going to click on the education ones now, and I'll just quickly go through that because we had decided on this committee that since we have this iStrive available to everybody, it would be nice to also share our educational materials because, you know, we just want to help everyone, right? So here I did a couple folders again. So double click on the folder to open them. I just dropped a lot of charts in here because I think charts are a really good way to educate yourself if you don't have a lot of time, because we really encourage people to take at least an hour a day and study something. So if people are really running short, it's like, oh, let me just pull up a chart and study that. And then, of course, the American government chart, that one, we always encourage everybody to print that out right away. And whenever they're reading Anna's articles or even listening to her talk, have that chart right in front of you so you know who she's talking about. Because I know it took me a while for the whole thing to just click and go, oh my God, she did that. And I understood everything and I knew what she was talking about and who she was talking about. So I think that chart is just an amazing help for everyone. So we have it posted at a couple places. Let me go back. And then I did a folder here for Americans only. So this is not necessarily to share with anybody except people in your assembly, but I figured, you know, we may as well share this as much as we can. So this is opting out of car registration. And this next one is the IRS answers that Terry Som had sent out a couple months ago. This is Anna's thing on autographing your passport, how to do that. And then this is the silver bullet information. So this is all, this has Doug and Christie's teachings on the silver bullet and all that, but it's got all the links. When you download this, you'll be able to follow all those links for all those videos and everything. And then this one, the other week when Lisa was doing America Some Assembly Required, she put this up for if you get a traffic ticket. So I took a screenshot and then I created this. So it gives you a visual of what to do, but then I also put the link and about where to watch the video for Lisa and Anna explaining why you're doing this, what it's about, because, you know, we need to know the why and how we're doing things, not just blindly write on our ticket and not know what we're doing. You know, we need to learn what we're doing so we can help others. So that's the folder just for Americans. And as we find more stuff like that, we will certainly drop more into it. And then we have the complete set of how to build an assembly is on here. So if you in your assembly don't already have that, that's available there. And then these are some slide presentations. So right now, most of this is stuff from Pennsylvania, you'll see, but as we all start contributing, this can grow really fast as everyone sends information that they have and slides and one pagers and whatever you have, we'll share. I did want to show you this one because I'm real big on America Some Assembly Required. I think the information on there has been phenomenal. But if you want to, you know, like if you wanted to know how, like, what's the job of a justice, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to watch all of these to figure it out. So I did go through one day and I made this so that you can see which episode and the date and what the general topic was. So if you want, you know, if you want to know about court oversight and coroners, go to the one that was on 12/17. And if you want to know about jurors and jury training, go to this one. So it's current up until the end of this year when she was starting on how to build an assembly. So that's been really helpful for people that want more specific information and don't know where to find it from that.
That's great. Actually, Vicki, I think at one point I asked Lisa if she would, um, you know, um, uh, organize it in like a playlist, so that we knew what topics were being covered on which episode. So that's great that you did it. Awesome.
Right. Yeah. Well, usually when I watch those, I have a notebook just for that, and then I take notes and I write down the times when things are. So if somebody in the assembly is like, "Oh, where do I find this?" I can usually tell them pretty well. But and then we just did a presentation talking about self-governance. So we created this chart here, self-governance versus statutory governance. So we came up with all that. And then we also put links into the Anna's related articles. And then, of course, the nanny state and granny state link. And then I also put in the New Jersey Assembly video on self-governance because I thought that was really well done. So, yeah, just go on here and take your time and look through things and use whatever you want. Are there any questions on any of this?
Yeah, Vicki, I got a question. The how to build an assembly, is that the first version or the second version they just did?
This is the one, I got this from Turisam in January, just a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
So
okay, that should be it.
as far as I know, this is the most recent one.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
May I, Vicki?
Sure.
So I'm curious because on that how to build an assembly, has she gone through the other three pillars? How to build, the drill assembly.
Yeah, yes, she did, let's see, which one? Kind of cut the name off.
Oh, there you go, to American Court, I see. I think we only got up to 13.
Yeah, the General Assembly and I think the General Assembly. Let's see, where's the militia one? She did the militia one. Business.
Okay, but it's in there.
Yeah, it's all in there. And then after that, she also has a couple of these case studies too, like case study part 2B and part 2A. So, yeah, I think this is the militia one here. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Any other questions, comments, anything?
That's excellent.
Yeah. Thank you.
I know where I'm going next.
Now I have to get out of here. Oops, sorry. Okay. All right. I'm done then. I yield.
All right. Thank you, Vicki. That was amazing. Awesome. A lot of great work there. Very much appreciated. And I feel like Louise, I'm ready to go in there. I'm going to use something we do outreach once a month on Zoom. And so we're going to be covering the Declaration of Independence tomorrow night. And so I think a few of your flyers there, I'll probably pull up and be able to share that. So thank you.
Sure. And actually, we just did that 2 weeks ago. We did a thing on the Declaration of Independence, but I didn't make any kind of presentation. We wanted more of a discussion, but I can send you my notes on it. And also, if you go to the glossary and TASA website, they have some really great information on the glossary on the TASA website, which I should put that in Ice Drive, the link to that, because I use that a lot. That's got great information on it.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. I'm going to hand the floor over to Louise. Louise, can you, update us on the Ice Drive on your end?
Okay. All right. I'm going to put some links in the chat there. I'm gonna take the screen. You all who are doing the in-person meetings, we would love to have some pictures to go in the Assembly Ledger, report on how things went and all that kind of good stuff that you're doing there in your communities. So consider that next time you have a in-person meeting. So here is the link for the ice drive. I'm not sure if this is the one that you have on the flyer, but this is the one that I like to, I would like you to include it. But this link here, the reason I got this link here is because it goes to this page here for the ice drive. This page that it goes to is the read this first page, use permissions. And when you open it, it will tell you about, on the left here, it'll tell you about how to use these materials for the Resurgence project. And there are some conditions, like for the left side explains it all, but I'll just go over it shortly, briefly. Like the postcard. Don't change anything on the postcard. If you decide to change something on the postcard, then make it your own. Take off the Federation seal and put your state seal on there and say whatever you need to say. You can use some of the information there, it's fine. Just if you change, because this is like an international public notice from the Federation. So we wouldn't change that. But if you chose to change it, to make it your own, just take the Federation seal off here like New Jersey did and just put your own seal there. You can even leave the images if you want to, but you can change whatever else you would like to after you put your seal on it. Same as with the international public notice video. It has the Federation seal at the top left, and it has the Federation seal in the bottom corner, bottom right-hand corner. If you want to change anything in the video, which you can, just take off the Federation seal and put your Assembly seal on there. You can change it to say whatever you want. You can use the same, some of the information there if you want to. The other material here, which is, these are the email international public notices. All of these email public notices is the same thing on the postcard, just sent through an email. So the same rules apply. But in the international public notice email, this was an example where I just put the Illinois seal on it, because it's going to be coming from Illinois or coming from New Jersey or coming from you. Your Assembly seal goes there in the middle because it's coming from you, but the words stay the same. In this declaration, nothing gets changed on it. Actually, don't for this one. It is a craft of one of our nationals. It was adopted from her particular declaration, so this one doesn't get changed at all. So if you don't want to use it as is, then just don't use it. So it doesn't get changed at all because it was crafted by her. But if your Assembly wants to use it, your Assembly logo, seal would go there at the top with the Peacekeeping Task Force seal. These Vicki's example is great. Pennsylvania added their own little flair and their own lively personality to these flyers, and they put their Assembly seal on it. So that's perfectly fine. So you can use it as is, but if you change anything, just take the Federation seal off and put your seal on it. Same thing with this is phase 3 peacekeepers. The only thing on here that gets changed is really this section over here. It's customized to whatever Assembly is sending it out. That's the only thing can get changed on this. All the other documents, full permission granted to change them because they're just guidance sheets. The detailed research, the county flyers can be designed any way you like. The one fell swoop list, the public meeting outline, reforms list, all that can change any way you like. They're not, they don't have a seal on them. So this is the first page you land on when you click that link to our ice drive. If it's not on this page, then you can do whatever you want with whatever's in the ice drive. So I will, oh, well, let me see if I can. This link goes into the ice drive itself. Oh, I can't do it unless I'll do it from here. Let's see if I can do it from, I'm going to download it first to do it. This link here goes into the ice drive. And this is what it looks like. I tried to put it as organized as possible so it can make sense, easily usable. So do not edit, full permission to edit, limit edit to assembly. Those folders go through what I just showed you on the use permissions. All these other, and read this first, peacekeepers. All these other charts and the pulse report and Spanish, the Spanish version, the templates, those things can be changed if you like. Well, except the pulse report. Those don't get changed. But these other things. And that's all that I'm going to be putting in here. Only the information materials that have to do with the American government's Resurgence project. Like Vicki said, those videos, like the pulse report, I might stop putting those in here. She had a great idea, just create a PDF and a link to where they all are. I put them in here so that you all will be able to download them with the thumbnail and put them up different places, Substacks or whatever you want to do with them. That's why I put them in here, but they do take up a lot of space. And if you don't know how to download from YouTube, then you won't be able to download them. And I want you to be able to download them. So that's why I put them in here. So I have to think about that. And that is, any questions about the Resurgence Project ice drive? And this will basically be the one that Peacekeeping Task Force monitors and updates.
Louise, may I?
Yeah.
So after we click the link that takes us to the full, the permission use, how do we get to this folder again? I don't think I followed you.
Let me go back. Let me see if I can get on this. So once you download, this document here. This is the downloaded document. Then this link here in that document takes you there.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
I set it up so that you'll read the permissions first before you get into the ice drive.
Makes
so that's
sense.
how it's set up.
All right, I yield.
All right. So Tammy, I'm going to go on with the rest of the things I have on my list. Let me see. Oh, let me see where it is. I lost it. Okay. We have a new podcast. Joe Hayes is doing a new podcast here, Sovereign Peacekeeping Matters Discussion Podcast for our Peacekeepers Phase 3. This is what he does here is he's taken all of Anna's articles from number 1 all the way to 5,000, whatever, and picking out the ones that talk about peacekeeping. And he's talking to the audience of our de facto and de jure peacekeepers to get that discussion going. And he puts up maybe 2 a week. So that's the new podcast that you all can follow and support. Phase 4 and 5. So the Resurgence Pulse Report, episode 6, de facto to de jure is my next one, is coming out Friday. The Assembly Ledger is coming out by the 20th. And if you want to get your annual subscription, there is the link to Cash App. If you are Canada, Terra Australis, go to Revolut and purchase your annual subscription there. And that $12 is like $1 a month. It's going to help support the efforts of the newspaper and the newsletters. There are newsletters in between those every 3 months, because you get one Assembly Ledger per 3 months, so per season. So the podcast and the newsletters and the newspaper will be supported by those $12. The journalism class scheduled next one is the 21st. So those are every 2 weeks from 7:45 to 9 o'clock. And that's the free conference call there. anybody who wants to write articles for the newspaper, the Assembly Ledger, we welcome that. Joe is the editor, so he gets to, edit it if it needs to be edited, and it has to be written like a news reporter, fair and balanced. So that's why he's offering the journalism classes. And like I said, you all who's having those in-person public meetings, those are what we want to report on. So if you all can get us some pictures of some real people doing some real work, we'd appreciate that. And so since he is taking over doing since he's launched a newspaper and is gung-ho being the editor, I decided that I will go ahead and publish the online news platform. I can do that, but I can't do both of them. So I'm going to purchase the Assembly Ledger URL and start that phase 4 part where he's doing the printed news and I'll do the online platform. Anybody who wants to help with the content creation or content composition of it, I'm open for that. I do have the other young lady who has been helping, who's wanted to do it all this time, but we really haven't published anything yet because I was looking for an editor. Well, now that we have an editor, she's going to help with the publishing so we can move forward with phases 4 and 5. So that's coming soon. And now I do have an update as far as the project funding. I'm going to share this like this. I'm going to show you this Rumble. I put some links there in the chat for you to follow along. I'm going to share this the best I can. I want to play this section out of the webinar Anna just did Monday. So I want you to listen.
Means to actually go after the American assets that have been commandeered, cashiered by these British, I guess you call them privateers. And this has been a very fruitful, eventful week. I believe that we are now in possession of the information that we need and the contacts that we need to not only make a great difference for ourselves and everything that we've been organizing, but also gives me hope that the rest of the world will be similarly set free and these commercial abuses brought to an end. We are going to pursue this over the next week. These new avenues that have opened up for us and which show great promise are largely avenues that we need to inform. We need to bring forward our history. We need to bring forward who we are. What is the American government versus the United States government? And these very basic understandings are largely not understood in diplomatic realms because for the last 165 years, we've been passed over, and the Brits and the Holy Roman Empire personnel have been kind of shrugging and saying, "Oh, we don't know what happened to them. Their government is in absentia. It's in interregnum." So while it isn't exactly startling news that we exist, it is startling news that we are in session.
Okay. So she's referring to meeting we just had Sunday with Emily and the U.S. Capitol Private Bank. Now, Emily has told us that the monies, that the gold and stuff that bank has belongs to America. How much of that gold belongs to America? I don't know. But when the bank president and the fiduciary was there sitting talking, what she's referring to is the fact that the bank president didn't know we existed. Didn't know that the American government existed, doesn't have an idea of what happened here, even though he is from America. So that's what she's referring to. And when she said we're going to pursue it the next week, that means she's referring to a meeting we have scheduled this coming Sunday. So that is what's happening with the funding. And it's become a diplomatic matter now because they have to reconcile what's going on. I want to make this point, so to kind of give you a preview, a frame of reference to understand the email that I put in the chat. So on the detailed research here, I did a timeline. This timeline here. On the 2015, Anna refers to the 2015 date in the email that I put in the chat. The 2015 date, Pope Francis liquidates the United States Inc. Now I wrote here, Pope Francis liquidates United States Inc. Municipal Corporation, but only after they shuffled off the bulk of the assets to other incorporated entities. I thought that just struck me that, okay, you're going to liquidate it in our favor, but you're not going to give us our stuff. In the email, she refers to what happened in 2015. This is where she is connecting the dots for me. She's saying that the reason the U.S. Capital Bank has all this gold is because that's the bank where it was shifted to instead of to us. I'm not going to explain the email much further than that. I'm just disclosing what has happened up to this date as far as this meeting go and the project update. So this is the email here. You might want to, you can read that and kind of piece some of that together, that I've just pieced together, but more development is coming there. So what we're trying to, the reason I'm in this conversation is because Emily wanted to provide funding for the American Government Resurgence Project and the Peacekeeping Task Force. This is where we are now, is we left the meeting with the understanding that Global Family Bank and the United States of America Incorporated is going to create a treaty to do business with the U.S. Capital Private Bank. That's how we left the meeting. And with the understanding that fiduciary have to pass off some history to the president because he doesn't know. So that's where we're picking up at on Sunday. So it's a little ways off from when we getting some money. But that's where we are. Any questions? That's really all that I have to report.
All right. Sounds like, Peacekeeping Task Force is really rocking it too. I like the fact that he started a podcast and you guys are moving along with, putting the newspaper online. I think that's a huge, progress. It's huge progress. So, and the bank situation obviously is great too. Thank you for updating us with that. Does anybody have any questions for Louise or any of the information that we covered tonight?
May I?
Yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Tammy. I wanted to know the replay of this. I know you send out a Zoom link, but I'm not sure. Is this video, is this program, that the outreach call, is it uploaded to a video platform like Rumble, like Mop and Bucket, or what?
Yes, Louise uploads it to a YouTube channel, right, Louise? The 1776. And I believe that's on if you go to the agenda and you go down to the resources, it's listed on the 1776 Union YouTube channel. If you click that, that's where all these playbacks have been uploaded.
Oh, okay. Thanks. That's what I need to know. Thanks. I yield.
You're welcome.
Is Tammy frozen or am I frozen? Okay.
Oh, Louise?
I can see you now. You were frozen or I was frozen. I wasn't sure.
Oh, I don't know. Could you guys hear me?
No, Tammy, I believe you
couldn't
froze
hear
up
you.
for a moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I was just asking, is there topics that you guys want to cover for our upcoming meeting in April, pertaining to outreach? Is there anything that you'd like to cover? Anything that we may need to learn? I mean, I think maybe even going through Canva might be a nice tutorial to do anyway. But outside of that, I'm not sure. The New Jersey Assembly will report our county tour. I'll do that next time. But if there's anything, I'll always leave it open. If anybody wants to share any outreach on their end, we'll do that as well. But if there's anything that you you want to learn or want to talk about, just send me an email. And if you have something that you're doing on your state that you think is, converting people quickly, I mean, that's really that's what we're all about, right? We want to see how effective our outreach is. Like I reported, our last county tour, we had a snowstorm that morning. I mean, we were really close to canceling it and people literally risked their lives to get there. I mean, it took some place to go 45 minutes. It took us double the time to get there. So, and we didn't think we were going to get anybody there. We just thought, okay, this is going to be practice for us. But we ended up getting 6 people, and out of the 6 people, 1 instantly converted. So, I guess that's a 16%, 1 out of 6 is like a 16%, turn on an investment, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, these are all things that we want to learn, and we could all learn from each other, So those are the things that we're gonna discuss next time around. We'll cover Canva, our county tour, and then anything else that you guys may want to learn. Christina, go ahead.
Hi, Tammy, and everyone. So, Louise, you had mentioned it would be cool to kind of like see, get responses of how people are, feedbacks how I'm receiving feedback. I am receiving feedback. One way is I created a Microsoft Forms, and created a QR code and a link so that I can present to the people that are watching the presentation. And I, at the beginning and at the end, I state that I would appreciate their feedback, and they come on here and they fill out this form that I created for Colorado. And there has been people that they give me feedback. So I guess I just wanted to show you guys just a quick snippet, if
Yeah,
that's okay.
please do. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. And the cool thing about the Microsoft Forms is that if you want, you can create collaborators, the other people in the assembly that have Microsoft, and they can also edit and also see the responses. But this is, this is just the first page of Colorado's presentation, but I go here to review responses and feedback from people. First 2 are, I try to make it anonymous, but I give them a place to put their name, their email, and how they actually got invited, received an invite to the presentation. Did the meeting meet your expectations? If no, what were your expectations? And at this time, would you like to share feedback? How would you rate the overall quality of the presentation? Are there any topics you'd like us to consider including in the presentation? Was the presentation too long or too short? Did you have an opportunity to ask questions and share any questions you may have had but didn't remember or something? Were you comfortable participating in the discussion? And I think that one's, I liked seeing the results that people would choose on this one. What was your favorite part of the meeting? And what is today's date? Excuse me. That's just one of the entries. There's other respondents, and some people, like if you see, there's some people that gave good content, like good feedback. Like this girl says, well, I'm not sure. I think it was good. Maybe the history of our nation and what led to such level of deception. We went from one nation under God to one nation under corrupt man. It's a lot to take in. So were we ever truly free? That's the question that can leave one feeling like they're stuck in a vortex of foolery. And the cool thing, actually, let me just show you guys how easy it is to share this survey with people. Real quick, it's be really quick. You can come here at the beginning of this Microsoft Forms and say collect responses. You can shorten the URL, copy the link, and boom, you have a URL to share, and then you can click a QR code and download that immediately to share with this feedback form. That seems to be nice and beneficial for me when I'm doing the presentation, since I co-host it. Also, I'm starting to begin to use the surveys for other aspects of the assembly, meaning, let me see. Let me click on
Christina, do
here.
you use these surveys on a Zoom meeting or in-person meeting or both?
I haven't tried using the surveys while participating in the Zoom meetings, although myself and Tim Hageman, who's also a member of Outreach, we are going to be doing our elections coming some at the end of March. And so we were playing around with being able to do surveys during the meetings, or being able to do surveys at a quickness with an anonymous quality to it. Just last night, and Tim used SurveyMonkey. He was able to create a survey very quickly, 3 questions, and he shared the link. We pressed the link and we were able to do the survey right then and there. And it has a very great and organized way of organizing the responses, and they have charts and stuff as to what the results are of your survey. So that was really cool to see. I really liked that feature of SurveyMonkey and using it with Zoom. But the Microsoft Forms is something that I just do after the presentation or after the Zoom that I created for Outreach.
Do you send it to the person? How do you send it to the person to fill the form?
So I shortened that URL there. Let me see. So how I send it to the people during the meeting is I create this feature of every form or survey that you make with this one. You can download a QR code right here. You press that and it's downloaded to your computer. I also check mark this to shorten the URL, and then I copy the link, and I have that ready to put into the chat during the meeting. And for me to be able to do this while I'm also co-hosting the presentation, I found to be very stressful and hard. So I created a Word document with all of these links that I want to share during the presentation, especially in case that I don't have anybody there to help send these into chat. I have a Word document where I compile stuff that I like to share during the presentation, and I'll just highlight that and then throw it into chat. For example, I'll shorten this URL. So you guys, if you guys want, feel free to look at the presentation questions. I'm going to throw it into chat here. You can answer the questions. You haven't seen the presentation, so you wouldn't know, but you can always write like, hey, I'm just from International Outreach Think Tank. So that I know that it's not like someone that had seen the presentation, but I don't mind if you guys check it out and mimic it however you want. But it's Microsoft Forms.
So how do you get Microsoft Forms? If you have like the Microsoft Suite, I have I have Word, I have PowerPoint and Excel. How do you create the forms on, do you need to, is it a different app?
That's a great question. And I'm starting to wonder, an assembly member who's active in our TikTok Sovereign Man, John, he upgraded his Microsoft accounts, Microsoft 365. And he asked if anybody wanted to be added to his family so that we would have access to other features. And I strongly feel like that's how I have access to Microsoft Forms now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm so sorry for offering a way to do something, but if maybe it's Microsoft 365, but if it's not Microsoft 365 on my computer, Microsoft Forms comes up. Let me show you what it comes up for me, just so you can see if it looks anything familiar. So on the screen here to the left, there's forms here, but I click this little square and it has all these other features that I may
Yeah. Okay.
and then forms looks like this. Let me see. This one's the image for forms.
Gotcha.
That's what I click on too. And then if I go here to forms, the layout looks like this. So yeah, you can make a survey, you can make quizzes, invitations. There's different templates you could use. I do a certificate of excellence every month, where I have people recognize an assembly member and then I make a certificate of excellence for them through Canva, actually. And I present it to them. I just present it when I'm finished with it. But right now we're trying to retain some members of the assembly. So I have this one here, gentle nudge, let's catch up. What would bring you back? Those two are ones that are being used right now, but
That's
it's super
amazing.
cool.
I love the survey. I mean, we talked about doing Survey Monkey here. I think it was like a year ago. I think for different purposes, but I love that idea, and I love how in Microsoft Suite they have it so easily accessible. This was kind of like a really I guess, you were doing it on the fly and it was kind of a rushed thing. I would actually love, and I don't know if anybody else would be interested. And if nobody else is interested, I'd be willing to maybe do a one-on-one with you, Christina. But I would love to add this to our county tours when we're doing the presentation, to be able to give that out to people and get feedback from them as well. That's excellent. A fantastic
Awesome.
idea. Yeah. Anybody else on here would you be willing to give us a tutorial on how to do this? Like, kind of more step by step, a little bit slower.
Yeah, definitely. I can share my screen and walk through things, and there's a fun little feature that that Zoom has, actually, which I found to be very beneficial. And actually I started doing it for the presentations. When I host my presentations, I do this little me at the bottom. Do you see me? I
Yeah.
think it's funny. So
How
I
the
think
heck
that's
do you
fun.
do that?
So when you go to share, I don't know if you can see this too. There's this button here. Oh man, the screen's covering it. When you go
Yeah.
to share, on your right side of the screen, there's a content only, as background, over the shoulder, or side by side. This is the over the shoulder version.
Okay. That's
This is side by
interesting.
side. Yeah, it's cool. You just got to remember that your camera's on and that you're at the bottom of their screen, because you can't. Yeah, that's what you have to remember.
I think that's probably when you see, I've seen a lot of people do like TikToks where they're, pointing up and you could see all the
Mhm.
information behind them. And I always wondered how the heck they did that. So that's cool. Thank you for that little tip.
Yeah,
And that's why we have these meetings, because we learn so much from other people. Yeah, that's great, Christina. Thank you for sharing
thank
that. I'm
you.
gonna have to
Absolutely.
play around with that.
Yeah. I
Um,
do have another tip for you, though,
oh, okay.
that I learned. So AI Companion, it looks like you do have that on here up
Yep.
top. So the cool thing about AI Companion is that in your settings, you can go to, oh goodness, I would have to find out the way to get there, but in your settings, you can make it so that everyone who attends your meeting will have a summary sent out to them after the meeting's over. And it'll be a It'll be what the AI companion comes up with. And during the meeting, if you press on your AI companion, if that's something that you want to have give access to the people that are in your meetings, and someone shows up late, hypothetically, there's a button that says catch me up on what's happened in the meeting so far. And it'll do a quick little summary of what has happened in the meeting so far. But I know that that's what I'm playing around with right now, because with my husband's militia meetings, it tended to be very helpful. And there's also the ability to turn a transcript button on, which I found fantastic, because sometimes Zoom summaries aren't so
Yeah,
accurate.
Right, exactly. Yep.
But with the transcript button, if you allow for there to be a transcript button for your meetings, you can literally throughout the meeting save transcript, and it will save your transcript with everybody's name associated with when they said and what they said. I like to go and highlight that or save that and highlight it all and throw it into the Grok AI and have them formulate a detailed summary with who said what, and then a next steps plan so that there'll be a part on what to do next and who said it. And then I'll go in there and I'll edit it. But I also found just yesterday that with Zoom, you could do documents while you're in the meeting. Sometimes if you open it up in your browser, it will interfere with your meeting. And you can use the AI companion to summarize parts of your meeting if you have a moderator, where you can throw into that document, and that document can be editable. Is editable. And I created one that I think I'm going to turn into a newsletter for the assembly for March. I have it up on my computer now. I feel like I should maybe just show you. Again, like we can discuss. I can show you all these things anytime too. Like,
I think that this would probably be a big topic of discussion, like a big tutorial for us. I mean, I would love to learn all the ins and outs of this stuff, because, as much as we want to say AI and things like of this nature can be used for evil, I do believe that it's a tool for us to use, that it's not going to take over our jobs, but it's a tool for us to use. And if it's there, I have no problem utilizing it. I think it's fantastic. But I think that this is something definitely worthwhile for us to add to the agenda, and maybe more so have it be definitely our main topic, because I think we would need more time, to go through it step by step. And and if you'd be willing to do that, I'll add you to the agenda for our April meeting. That would be fantastic.
okay. Yeah. I have to take notes or I won't remember things. April International. Oh, and I made an international think tank graphic for you.
Awesome.
So I'll
I
have
love
that.
that.
Yeah. I'll have that for you next time, so I don't have to go searching in my computer.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome. Love it. All right. Well, anybody else have anything else they'd like to add or ask Cristina or anybody? All right. Okay. Well, it's 8:48. I think we did great on time, and thank you all for coming tonight and for your participation, and everybody with their work that they're doing. Just keep on keeping and pushing forward. I'm excited to see how many more assemblies are putting their elections out there and getting seated and fully functioning. So, till we meet next month, I'll look forward to hearing everybody's updates, and looking forward to hearing your presentation, Cristina. I think that's going to be a huge help for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great month. I'll see you on other meetings, I'm sure. Sending love to you guys. Enjoy. All right. Take care. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.